So anyway, I was talking to Mike
Yeah.
about his stuff, and he was like, sent me videos of his cleans from the hang, and I was like, yeah, they look good. Like, there's not really much to say about your cleans. Like, they look good. Like, you're opening up better than you normally are. Your setup position, like your shoulders are over the bar further. Like, it looks heaps better. And then he was like, oh yeah, and then I commented on his jerks and stuff, which are the things that needed a bit more work from the videos that he sent me. And then he was like, oh, okay, thanks, da 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 da. And then about 10 minutes later, I got another one from him, and he's like, my cleans really, he's like, do you actually think my cleans look alright? Because I feel like shit. Like, I'm not making contact. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. And I was like, what do you mean you're not making contact? And I went back and looked at the video. I was like, did I seriously just not look at the video and comment and say it looks good?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I thought I must have done. And then I went and looked back at the video, and I messaged him back, and I was like, dude, I can see the bar lifting your shorts. Like, I can see your shorts flicking up with the bar.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're not making contact? And he was like, oh, yeah, I can see that you can see that. He's like, I guess it's just...
I can see that you can see
He's like, it's just not banging off my thighs anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
not
like,
meant to do
that's
that.
what we're getting away from happening. But it was funny. And then he messaged me yesterday. I haven't looked at the videos yet, but I saw the message. He was like, oh, once I put a bit of weight on the bar, it feels better now. And I was like, because we were just doing everything at an empty bar for ages.
And also, once you put weight on the bars, he's gone back to banging it.
Banging it. I haven't watched the videos yet.
Damn.
So
It sucks that we can't watch it live.
We could. I just don't know whether if it'll keep recording or not.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's worth the risk.
Not worth the risk.
Not worth the risk.
This time.
Not this time. Can you get WhatsApp on a computer?
Yeah, I have WhatsApp on the computer. But it's logged into mine.
In future, maybe I could forward you stuff if I want to.
Yeah, show things on the
show
podcast.
things on the podcast. I feel like it'd be rude to do technical critique of Mike on a live podcast.
No, that would be so fun. If you guys do listen and you want your... Okay, if you listen to this podcast and want your technique of any lift, or actually, you know what? The technique of anything, anything in the world, broken down.
Not your strokes.
We'll have... Huh? Not your what?
Strokes.
For what?
Doesn't matter.
Like, literally any movement. It could be lifting, it could be drinking a beer. We will dissect the technique of anything.
Any movement.
Any movement.
In fact, if we can get enough people sending that in for us to dissect, I feel like that could be a 10-minute segment at the start of every podcast.
Exactly. Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. But send in your lifts.
But
And
I like the drinking beer one. That'd be a good one.
And obviously, like, they've got to be some... I will enjoy them if they're not, but we're not going to play them on the podcast if they're not PG.
Yes. Well, yeah.
We're on YouTube. We can't show everything.
We can watch it. You just can't be up on the screen.
That's true, yeah.
Interesting. That would be funny. But also, if you're going to send in technique videos of anything, make it somewhat impressive.
No,
I want impressive.
Doesn't have to be
If
impressive.
you're going to send me you drinking a beer, it better be a skull of a schooner. Don't just give me
Like a sip?
a sip. Of the
Yeah, but
beer.
like, you know, a sip can also be classy. Like if they're drinking whiskey and they've got a good whiskey sip where they're like...
Followed by a puff of a cigar.
Yeah.
That's what a video I want. I want someone sipping a whiskey and then taking a puff of their cigar.
Oh, this would be a fun segment if people actually did it.
It would be. I reckon Claire would. Claire, this is for you. I want puff of a cigar and a sip of a scotch. A good scotch. Not a Johnny. I want like a Glenlivet or something.
Well, speaking of Claire, she had a second topic that she wanted us to talk about.
Yeah. Controversial.
Is it controversial?
It is controversial.
Yeah, like if you're an idiot.
No, it's controversial, Andy. It's controversial because we don't really know.
We definitely do know.
Do we?
Yes.
No, the government's lying to you.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about it. What is this topic?
The flat earth theory. The earth is flat. I don't really think it's a theory. I think most of us know it's fact. That the earth is flat. No, we all know that the earth is not flat, but
No, we don't all know that the Earth is not flat. You and me maybe know that the Earth is not flat. But is there some merits to some of the arguments, Andy? That's what I'm asking.
Okay. So what are the arguments that you normally hear out of a flat earther's mouth?
Out of the flat Earther's mouth? I don't know. What are the arguments? You know, there's one good argument, my favourite argument, that actually made me sit and think one day, and that was the curvature of the Earth. Is that if the Earth were not flat, then you would see more of a drop based on what we experience, what we know the Earth's size to be in diameter or radius or circumference. The drop of the Earth, so where the horizon should be based on the curvature of the Earth, we can generally see further with a telescope over where that curve should drop off. So by the mathematics of it, there should be a drop off from the curvature of the Earth where even with, no matter how powerful the telescope, you can't see just because that's where the horizon is, because that's where the Earth curves around. But that being said, we can generally see a little bit further, but that's got more to do with reflection coming out of the atmosphere rather than the Earth being flat. That's the theory that made me think once.
Yeah. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
So that's like light refraction from the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. I don't really know much about the flat Earth.
No.
Yeah.
And we didn't look it up because otherwise it would be educated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard people talk about, it seems like it does just come from like people watching like a whole bunch of YouTube videos.
Yeah, always. That's the rabbit hole. YouTube can go deep.
Yeah, you go cat video, oh my god, police brutality, this is terrible. Did that guy just die? Flat Earth. And then
The government's lying, flat Earth.
chemtrails.
Yep.
A lot of people are into that kind of stuff.
Do you have any conspiracy theories, like big common conspiracy theories that you buy into?
Yeah, I don't think Epstein killed himself.
Yeah. Look into it. He definitely didn't kill himself.
Yeah. 100%.
There's no way he killed himself. Yeah. Does anyone not know about that story?
Yeah, I think so.
Plenty
Do you
of
believe in aliens?
Do I believe we've had contact with them?
Yeah.
No. Do I believe there's other life out there? Probably, yeah.
Do you believe
Not based on any science though, just based on
what you want to believe?
No, just sheer theory of like probability that I just can't see from a scientific point of view. I just can't see logically there not being, if there's life here, just the vast mass of the universe that is unexplored and unknown.
It's hard to think that we're that special.
It's hard to think that we're that special. There would be, then it wouldn't happen again somewhere else.
And so like because this is actually interesting to me.
That being said though, the Big Bang is like a 1 in a multiple billion chance that it was all going to fold out the way that it did. So there is still that chance that maybe we were the only one, but also the universe is like multiple billions like of kilometers long. Like it's huge, like it's the vastness of it. So the amount of things happening in the universe would make you think that maybe it's happened again elsewhere.
That's true. But yeah, like the chance of, like there being a sun that is just big enough that it's not going to burn you, just small enough that it's, and just young enough that it's going to be able to be
But
around
also,
for life
but
to
also, why do we
evolve.
like? If we're talking about it being another human race, like that's like the reaction didn't have to happen the exact same way. Like there's no reason to believe that
it's going to be carbon-based life forms.
Yeah, it might be some sort of other life form.
Yeah.
It might be closer to the sun, and just something about the way that they're designed, they're able to withstand that in the same way that to a more extreme version of we've got populations of people that live in hotter and colder areas, and over years of ancestry, they've adapted and been able to survive in those climates better than what we would by
That's
moving
true.
to them.
I mean, but like
You're just talking on an extreme scale.
Our understanding of life would say that, things would have to be pretty similar. Even Hawking's is like this possibility of like silicon-based life, which would be like different compared to like us, but still like, temperature, radiation, like all of those things would affect
Maybe.
people differently.
I think I feel like there's no reason for me to say that there wouldn't be another life form out there that is just operating in a different part of the universe, that is just operating under a completely different set of rules, like that we don't understand because we don't have those rules. Like why? Like just because science is true here doesn't mean science is necessarily going to be true a million light years away.
What?
Do you not get that? Like our rule, there's nothing to say that our rules of science aren't going to be different elsewhere. In the same way that the gravity on Earth.
But that's not how like physics works. Like,
well, maybe, but that's what I'm saying. Like there's no. I can't guarantee that that's not going to be different somewhere else.
Like the laws of physics are constant. The laws of chemistry are constant.
Yeah, here.
Like I understand if you're thinking like biology can be different.
No, I'm thinking anything could be different. We don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like there's no way of knowing where everything that we know is constructed in this very small space.
Yeah.
So just because we know it here, we don't know what's going on elsewhere. So there's no way of knowing that the rules aren't different, the boundaries aren't different. I'm just saying there's that possibility that everything is different somewhere else.
Yeah, but that like, I understand what you're saying and where you're trying to go with that.
Yeah.
But that can't be.
Why?
True. Like, yes, the mechanisms of how things work can be different, but the rules of physics will be the same because there are only, unless there are new variables such as new elements or
maybe
like
anything could be different. But what I'm saying is we have zero knowledge of what is different over there. In the same way that someone of science can't say definitively there is definitely, like without a doubt in their mind, there's no higher power somewhere. Like, yeah, I know, yeah. Like you can't. There's certain things that even though you know it to be true here, you can't rule them out. In the same way that people couldn't rule out. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example where our science has come further in future, like with evolution and stuff. Like there's no.
Like how men evolved to be better than women.
Yeah.
But like maybe on another planet, they're equals.
Maybe.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's maybe what I'm trying to say. Yeah. No, all I'm saying is our knowledge base is
insular.
Insular. So there's just. I understand that physics is physics. Physics is the way that it is, but it is the way that it is because that's the way we know it to be where we are. So that the rules, yes, play that way, but there's no way of being 100% sure that the rules don't change out of our solar system or somewhere else, a million light years away. There's just like we can't say that for certain just because it happens here and it happens in the other side of the planet and the rules are the same on the moon and the rules are the same on Mars. Doesn't mean that a million light years away the rules aren't different. Like,
but how different?
You
can
can't
they be?
know. Well, how different can they be?
All you're just saying is that you need to keep an open mind.
All I'm saying is that even just by saying because by the maths that we can do here, life could not possibly be that much different in the way that things react to radiation and temperature. Just because that rule works out with the maths here doesn't mean that's the way it's going to work out somewhere else. There's infinite possibility of anything because we don't know. Like it's infinite. That's part of the point is that we don't know anything really about what's out there. So we only know what's in our very small capsule.
Yeah. I agree.
Mm.
I was just arguing for the sake of arguing. And also to give another way of thinking of things.
Mm. Yeah, I agree that, like, from everything that we know, the maths probably works out that way, but there's that much that we don't know about the way things work on our own planet. There's no way of knowing that the rules aren't played completely differently somewhere else.
Yeah, like why is it that when I pray, sometimes
Fuck,
things
here we
go my way and sometimes things don't? Surely
Uh,
the mechanism should be infallible.
yeah, should be. But even, I don't know. Do you understand the theory of relativity?
No.
No? Like, do you have a rough grasp on it as to, like, why things happen that way?
Enough to explain? No, you explain it to me.
No, I don't know.
Oh.
I'm asking you to explain it to me.
No.
No? So that's one thing that, like, is probably a good example of the fact that we don't know is, like, the fact that time can be different in two places close together just based on relativity. Like, you've seen that movie, Interstellar? You've seen Interstellar? I watched
Yeah.
that with you at the movies years ago.
Yeah. Wait, we watched the movies together?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
did, yeah.
I really like Interstellar.
It is a good movie. But there's no way that we can know that the rules don't play completely differently somewhere else. Like, in the same way that relativity can change,
Yeah.
like what time can change depending on where you are. None of us have spent time in one of those places where time is different to know whether if maybe something else is different. The same way gravity is different, there's no way of knowing maybe the physics and the laws that we play by are different as well.
Yeah.
I guess that's all I'm saying. Like, there's no way to know that in 30 years a new version of Stephen Hawking with his brain goes, hey, I've come up with a new thing, and by the way, if we go a certain distance out, everything operates differently.
Yeah. I get that. This is something that is like way over my head.
It's way over my head as well.
Like this, I'm confident to talk about a lot of things, and this isn't one of them.
Yeah, I'm not confident. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just know that with the amount that we've learnt over a long period of time as a race, and then, or as a species, and then the amount that we still don't know, and that's only in our little area, our own little capsule. It's very hard to say that we know how things are going to play out elsewhere. We can assume that it's going to be the same as here, but there's no way that we actually know that as a fact for certain.
Yeah, okay. I'll concede to that.
In the same way that people theorize there's other dimensions, like that is a real theory. Like, people actually theorize around that there are other dimensions, and those theories, like the theories that they have that actually have some merit to them, like that there's a fourth dimension, there's actually some merit to that theory. I don't understand it, but I've heard people much smarter than me talk about it.
The ant thing, right?
Yeah.
Like where like you have a piece of paper on a table, and like, you know, and to an ant, that piece of paper is just like part of the ground, so it's just flat. But then if you lift that paper off the ground, then you can see that there's a fourth.
There's another wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, there's some merit to theories like that.
And you can't see it unless
and we wouldn't know what was happening inside that other dimension, right? Like, so that would be even another point towards maybe whatever's out there has an understanding of those things and therefore operates out of a different set of rules to what we do.
Mozzie? I think... I don't even know. This is why I like listening to people like Neil deGrasse Tyson and stuff talk.
Because they can actually articulate it.
Yeah, they can explain stuff to me, like when I watch them. But still, it's just so confusing.
Things do make sense when someone smart actually explains it to you properly.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to beat your head against the wall.
So do you think that there's a dimension where we know what we're talking about?
Maybe. No. There's definitely no dimension where we know what we're talking about this stuff. Do you think there's possibly parallel universes?
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. I hope so.
Mm. Interesting.
I just wish I had superpowers.
What superpower would you want?
Teleportation.
Mm.
If you could choose any superpower, what would you choose?
Probably teleportation.
Stop copying me. Be original.
Okay. I don't think I'd want to read minds.
You wouldn't want that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you really want to know what people are thinking all the time. I think you want to know. I think it's one of those things that you think you want,
Yeah.
but the minute you have it, you'd be like, life was easier not knowing, actually, what people are thinking all the time.
Yeah. Okay, that's another one. What is a power that is also like a curse? Like that's a curse.
That's a curse, yeah.
Because even if you can turn it on and off, like that, your curiosity to do it
To know,
would
yeah.
wreck you all the time.
It's another
You'd
one.
never have a partner. Like you'd never be able to keep partners. You'd never be able to do a
Mm.
lot of things, unless your partner was really dumb and not much was going on.
Yeah, even like persuasion
Yeah.
is one. Like,
Did you ever watch Jessica Jones?
No.
You should watch Jessica Jones.
Yeah, okay. That would be. I don't even know what that's about.
Yeah, that would be terrible. I actually think like super strength would be a curse as well. Super speed,
Why?
being too fast. I think super strength, just like, especially for us, like the challenges.
Were you trying to make a joke there about super speed?
No, I wasn't. No.
Because if you did, oh sorry, it was funny, but I just dodged. I shot it.
Even super speed would be like challenge too. Just like too fast for everyone. Like
Finish first all the time.
that too.
Yeah.
Nothing much would change.
Oh, 2 days. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah,
Pushes
tomorrow
in
morning.
tomorrow. Cool. Exciting.
It is really exciting. Like now, I'm actually excited.
Excited. Annie's partner is coming back from Canada to visit.
Yep.
And then how long is she here for?
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And then how long is she back over there for before she's finished up?
November.
November. Okay.
Unless she resigns.
That's all right. Interesting. Very interesting.
So you started your masters.
I did.
How's that going?
Rough.
Really? Already?
Just trying to get on top of the first week. I think the first week will be...
Yeah, it's like how is it that you are 1 week in and already behind?
I'm not behind.
Ah.
I'm trying to stay on top is the thing. But
But
it's
it's
just,
already hard to stay on top.
it's just taking me a little bit to get back into the rhythm of study, I think. Like I spent an hour and a half reading and taking notes from like a 9-page article yesterday.
Yeah.
Like it just takes me a little while to, and like there's better ways to get information out of an article, which just skim reading and picking up the things that are important.
Yeah, like reading the abstract and reading the conclusion.
Yeah, stuff like that. But I'm just trying to. I always do this. Like I try and do things super properly the first time. So read everything word for word, highlight the things that are semi-important, write notes on them, and that sort of thing. And then I realize about 3 weeks in that's not
Gonna fly.
It's not going to fly. It's just going to take too much time. So you have to pick the important things.
Do you think it was smart of you not to have that much of a break between your...
Masters and bachelors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
But I was always very lazy in my bachelors as well. I'm trying to do this properly.
Yeah.
Like,
Because this
even
is
w-
like a choice. Like, I mean, I know it was a choice to do your bachelor's, but like, it's a real choice to do your master's.
This is now like the one where I'm like, I've made a set in stone decision for a career now.
Yeah.
So like, do it properly. Don't fuck it up. Because doing properly in this one, just with the connections that this particular course brings, making sure you impress the right people with your work is pretty important as well.
Why is...
I got a bunch of emails and stuff I got to send. Actually, I like all the internships that come up for high performance sport. So like there's ones with like the Waratahs, there's one that got sent out the other day with the Wallabies. It's all GPS and data analysis, which I have zero experience in at all. Like even from my bachelor's, like we did 1 hour with GPS units and none with the data analysis side of it. So they're always looking for exercise science students with experience in GPS stuff.
Yeah.
But I've never done anything, and I haven't worked with a team that's explained it to me.
Can you do a course or something like
Probably
a short course?
today. That's one of my chores from today.
To
on
look
my
up,
list,
see if you can do that.
is just to email one of the lecturers from my uni who is in charge of a lot of the Wallabies internships, and just find out where he thinks the best place to do it is. And at least because I've emailed him, hopefully then it's a name in his head.
Yeah.
Like at least it seems like I'm making an effort to do the best that I can to get
Yeah.
internships, do whatever I can for that. And then also email the guy I did that tour with. He actually did his PhD in GPS analysis. So
that'd be a good connection to have.
yeah, so talk to him about what he thinks the best way is, even if it means flying up to Brisbane to spend a week with him at the Roar or whatever, and just learn how to use the systems properly and understand them. Just because I think to get a foot in the door, I think that's going to be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Is to do the GPS stuff.
and
Because
it's
it's the nitty gritty, I think no one wants to do it. That's why they're getting interns to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's the one that's going to get you in the door. Even though that's not what I want to do as an end goal, I think that's the path I'm probably going to have to take to initially get in, to actually talk to people and get face to face. And also some of the internships are just awesome. Like the one they sent out the other day was with the junior Wallabies. So that's like training camps, flights, accommodation and meals all paid for. Training camps in Melbourne and in Perth, and then 2 weeks for the World Cup in Italy.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, which should be pretty cool. But like, I don't have any experience, so I'm not going to get that one. But it would be cool. Like, and those are the sort of opportunities I don't want to miss out on just because I don't have any background in data analysis, which are units that we're doing that I've got this semester.
Will help you with that.
Help me with that. But at least having a base knowledge
Have you done
of how the units work would be better.
much stat work?
Have I done much stat work? No, not outside of like basic bloody t-tests and shit.
Yeah, okay.
On Excel. And even t-test stuff, like I hate stats. I really hate stat stuff. But we'll go through more of it now. I probably should go in and do, like I think they offer like little courses and stuff through the student centre for stats and that sort of thing, like to help freshen up on things with using Excel and that sort of thing, like doing paired versus simple t-tests, like paired t-tests and simple t-tests, and finding p-values and that sort of thing. But I need to go and actually do that because I forgot how to do it all.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Like I know how to find the formula, but I don't remember what things I need to select from columns and stuff like that. Like finding formulas is easy, but
why you're doing things.
and why I'm doing certain things, and whether if it's like categorical variables or continuous variables, what type of tests you need to use and all that sort of thing. You know what's really spastic that I did yesterday? The difference between an odds ratio and a risk ratio. Do you know the difference? No? So the odds ratio and the risk ratio are basically exactly the same thing, but it's used for like if you're testing, say, risk of injury in previously injured people and not previously injured people. So if 10 out of 74 people get injured previously, who were injured previously, get re-injured, and 9 out of 100 people who were previously injured, who have not been previously injured, get injured, then the risk ratio is 10 over 74, whereas the odds ratio is 10 over 64. That's the only difference between it. Is one is a ratio of that number within the whole number, and one is the odds difference of that number versus of injured versus not injured. Did that make any sense to you?
Kinda.
Yeah, kinda. You kinda get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like one is you take the 10 away because they're no longer there, and that's the odds.
Yeah.
And one is the ratio within the whole number.
Yeah.
Versus one is the ratio with what's left.
And that's just showing the significance of the pre-injury to
Whatever it is.
re-injury.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Interesting. Do you think for what you want to do with your career, that having your masters is important?
I think no, not yes and no. Yes, because I think I'm doing the masters mainly for hopefully the connections
Yeah.
that it breeds, rather than necessarily the knowledge that it gets. But the knowledge is important as well. Like the amount of stuff we're going to do on like managing training loads and stuff is important.
Yeah, like you're like, you sent me that assignment that you have to do. Like, I'm pretty interested to see what you write for that.
That's actually a group assignment, that one. So we're going to do. Sorry? Yeah, I know. So we're going to do. We have to pick 2 injuries and a specific sport for the injuries, and then write an injury prevention program for them.
Yeah.
And then do a 20-minute presentation on 10 minutes on each injury as to what the mechanisms behind the injury is, how they happen in the sport, and then also what the injury prevention program is. So we're going to do in rugby union, ACLs and hamstring injuries, and then I chose those 2 because I think they'll be pretty well. I think we'll be able to then spend maybe a minute or 2 in the presentation linking the 2 to talk about why hamstring strains is maybe related to ACL injuries and that sort of thing. Like being that a weak hamstring is generally a precursor to an ACL, can be a precursor to an ACL. Some stuff I was reading yesterday in this paper.
You have to be very, very careful with
how you word
your
things.
verbiage now.
Yeah.
You can't talk like how we talk.
Yeah.
And get away with it.
Yeah. But that's why there's 2 other people in the assignment, so they can do that. But yeah, interesting. Like, I think it'll be interesting. Like some of the stuff I was reading
Actually,
yesterday
are
about
group
hamstrings.
assignments better now in a master's because you all really, really
Hopefully
are
want to
into
put
this?
effort into it.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I'm hoping so, yeah. Seems that way. I'm noticing that already though, that there's a lot of people doing this masters are already working in the field as well. Like one of the guys that's going to be in my group's already working with the Waratahs, and then the other one's working in like first grade AFL in Adelaide.
Whereas like...
And then the other one, another mate of mine that's doing the course, is a strength and conditioning coach for the number 13 female in the world in tennis. Like,
That's a very high seat.
some of them are working with professional ice hockey in the States. Some of them working with the NFL. 3 of the guys that we went to speak to in that tour last year, the coach at the 76ers, the high performance manager at the 76ers, the Eagles and the Rams are all doing this course. They're in their last semester now for this course. So it's just kind of like, I've only ever worked with general pops.
Wow.
And these guys are already
So you're
all
like the black sheep.
Yeah. I'm pretty lucky to get in. I think there was some behind the scenes words given by the guy I went to the tour for me, because they like you to already be working in high performance sport. So I think he put in a word for me.
That's so cool.
Hopefully. Anyway, yeah, so need to try and get internships and stuff now so I can start working in the field, so I don't feel like I'm the only one not doing it.
Not doing the work that you're working to do.
Working towards doing it.
Yeah.
Well, because my worst nightmare is finishing this masters and then
Not having a job.
and then working in a gym for the rest of my life without actually moving into the high performance field. Which, I mean, there's things that you can adapt across, right? Like everything that you learn that you should do with elite athletes, you could do with
general pop
with
or
general
amateur
pop
athletes.
or amateur athletes. It's just obviously everyone who's doing it wants to work with elite athletes.
Yeah. And I think you need to have like you personally need to do that. Like you have to work with professional athletes, even if it's just to know that you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
After that. Like,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Even if it's just to go, these guys are wankers, I don't want to work with them anymore. Like,
okay, so my question then is, do you think it would have been better off, because like your end goal is to work with professional athletes, would it have been, and this might not be possible, but would you have been better off trying to get like a
job first.
internship or whatever and get your foot in the door through that, rather than spending all this money on your masters?
I think the fact that I'm doing the masters will help me get an internship, and a lot of the internships possibilities or opportunities will be generated from things that get sent to the coordinators of the masters, and will get passed on. Things that you wouldn't normally hear about unless you're in the masters, like that Wallabies thing. Like, you wouldn't hear about it except for the fact that Grant is in charge of it, and he's one of the he helps manage a couple of the units.
What if you had more friends in that field? Like, you just happen to be able to talk to a lot of those people.
Well, actually, I'm hopefully trying to make some of those connections at the moment, but I need to be. Do you ever feel like a wanker, just like randomly messaging people that you don't know about that sort of stuff? Like trying to build that network. But I feel like that's what I need to do. Like, I'll tell you a little bit more off air, because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus from a conversation I had the other day. But I was talking to someone I went to see the other day, and they've got a lot of connections just through friends and stuff and people they've worked with in the past, that they said they'd give me like email addresses and stuff to try and network and sort of just make friends with people. And that was one of the other things that they said to me yesterday, was like, be proactive about trying to get work in places, yes, but be more proactive about building friendships with people in the industry. And then you'll find a lot of the time the work will come to you, rather than you having to go out and search for it. Because if you're in the forefront of someone's mind as being someone that's really curious and interesting and knowledgeable, then maybe when they're looking for an intern, they'll go, oh, maybe I'll just hit Steve up, see what he's doing. And that sort of thing. Right? Do you get it? No? Rather than constantly being like, hey, do you guys have an internship available?
Yes.
That sort of thing.
The struggle with that is that it often takes like a long time, and it usually comes at a time where you're like, I
can't do this. I don't have time. Yeah. I think I've probably passed up opportunities in the past where I shouldn't have, just because I was like, it's too hard to do now. And I think I'm kind of at a stage now where I've decided, even if it means pay cut or whatever, like, I think it's something that I need to do now. And that's one of the other reasons why I need to be a little bit more proactive about trying to grow my online stuff as well, so that if I need to drop work, I can afford to.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. Like, there is still a cost of living that needs to be paid, but long-term goals, right? Like, not short-term goals.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting concept.
I'm not going to drop work here.
No, I was just using a pun of what you're going to call you.
Yeah. Well, I'm paying for that, but I don't know whether I'm going to use it.
You don't like it anymore?
No, I do like it. I just don't know whether if people are going to kick up a stink about it.
Because of that too.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, the reason I was asking about that
tangent that we went on?
Yeah. No, like I think it's actually important, because that's talking about like how important the education system is.
Yeah.
Compared to like just getting experience. Like, there are a lot of things, a lot of jobs where the theoretical knowledge that you get from study is important, but then there's a lot of jobs where like just on-the-job experience can be like the most important
and having
thing.
conversation and
so like maybe something like medicine needs to definitely be like standardized across the board. So having like universities and things are very important part of it, and then the other part is obviously the internship process. But on the other end, like things like trades, for example, for millennia we've had trades that have been like purely apprenticeship based, not study based. Like if you were a blacksmith, you would go and apprentice to a blacksmith. They would teach you their way of doing things, and that's how you would become the next blacksmith of that town.
Yeah.
And vice versa. But now it's like you do that plus you do all these courses, and then you get your trade at the end. And what's more important, the output of work, like the quality of work that you output in a free market, or that you have the qualifications that say that you could do it?
Unfortunately, the stress that we put on the education system now is getting more and more, as in the stress for the requirement, is getting higher and higher. So I don't think you can anymore get away without having things,
A qualification.
having qualifications, and getting into jobs. Like there's plenty of old heads in like finance, for example, who don't have an accounting or a commerce degree, but they these days are not going to hire someone who doesn't have one, if that makes sense. Like they own the business and they never got one, but now just with the sheer number of people that are doing the degree in the first place, they have such a pool to pick from of people that have done the degree. It's just a very easy line to draw down the middle to go, you haven't done the degree, so I'm not hiring you. These people have all done the degree, let's choose out of them. I think that's mainly what it is. It's just the sheer number of people that study have driven it
Yeah.
in that direction.
Is that
now.
right or wrong though?
It's probably wrong for a lot of jobs.
Because like the universities obviously are profit machines, but at the same time, research and stuff comes out of them. So like for a lot of these industries to move forward, you have to have that research side of things.
Yes,
So like universities are also still very important.
for that reason.
But the thing is that their bottom line is so, like they're making so much money from such a huge pool of people that are going into like 5 jobs. And that's my worry about it. And also like I worry about this over saturation of like titles, courses and whatever. Like I know our industry is very much deregulated, but it works pretty well in the sense that like if you want to find a good coach, you'll find a good coach because
They're out there.
they're out there. You just have to look.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like with a lot of other things, like a doctor's a doctor, but you might not be finding a really good doctor. You're just finding someone who's just done their courses.
And the funny thing is, there's a lot of coaches. There's probably a lot of
So
coaches.
doctor's a bad example, but like pick another job.
It's funny. There's a lot of people who have done like an exercise science degree, for example, who are horrible coaches, and then there's a lot of people who did their. Then there's people out there that did their weightlifting level 1 but never did Cert 3 or 4, or did a CrossFit level 1 and never did anything else, and are great coaches.
And that's the
interesting.
thing. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Does the lower regulation of the industry almost maybe breed that opportunity better because it's easier for people to get into it?
I think so. Like a low barrier to entry. I think that's important for attracting talent, and also just like if you want the knowledge, you're gonna go out and look for it. Like I'm almost 100% sure that I will end up doing some sort of further education in the next year to improve my knowledge of anatomy, because I feel that like is what's letting me down right now as a coach. Is that like I know global anatomy, but like the intricacies are showing up more and more now in my athletes, and I'm like, I really wish I knew more, and I'm too lazy to
Do
it on my own, so I'll probably do a course.
Fair enough. Is that why you're talking about doing like massage or something?
Yeah.
Is massage the one for you?
Is that an ad?
No.
Ah.
I was just thinking, is massage the one for you?
I only thought the only reason I thought of massage therapy is it also gives me a legal ability to have hands on
Yeah.
and like do release work and stuff,
Yeah.
which can be tied into
Rather
what
than
we
just
do.
doing it.
Rather than just doing it, which I don't do, but like I could do. And it's also like Cert 3, Cert 4, so it's not like a diploma course that's going to take me a year. And that's the other thing, like I want minimum amount of work to get the most bang for my buck. So if I did a physio degree, yes, I can diagnose, treat, and I'll have a whole another subset of information and understanding, but do I need that to fulfill the job that I'm actually going to do? Like, I'm not going to work as a physio if I did that.
Are there
I'd
just like
still
little
be a
online
course.
courses that you can look up?
Probably for specifically anatomy. I only
Yeah.
thought about massage because I was like, oh,
Mm.
that'd be interesting
Mm.
as well.
I got my first massage yesterday.
How was it?
It was good. A
Um,
little bit sore, but not too bad.
were you happy at the end, or
No, I wasn't. I was dissatisfied. Paid good money for that and didn't get it.
Where'd you go?
That was good. Just remember it. You remember Elisa?
Oh yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
How is Alyssa doing?
Good. We talked about you a fair bit.
Really?
That's where I got my maybe gracilis for
Ah,
your knee issue.
yeah.
Mm. We agree it's not perineal.
Mm. So I will talk to you off air about this because I did some stuff to it, and
And it's helped?
yeah, it's helped a little bit, but I also don't think it's perineal anymore.
Mm.
I think and at one stage I was like,
Did
oh,
you
maybe it
stick
is,
needles in yourself?
maybe it is fibularis, and then now I'm like not so sure
Mm.
because it's very deep.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
You don't think it's fibularis?
No, I do think it's fibularis.
You do think it's
Yeah.
fibularis?
Yeah, slam dunk.
Mm.
Yeah, because fibularis attaches here and then like down
Just
here.
under the calcaneus?
Yeah. And it's like exactly.
That's brevis. Yeah, like longus attaches at the toe, doesn't it? Further up the foot.
No, it's like right here.
Fibularis longus attaches
Yeah.
there. Oh, I thought longus attached further up the foot.
Here?
No, below the digit. I thought it attached below the digit.
No, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I'll look it up.
Anyway,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Interesting. Did you try JHRs afterwards?
No, I did one today, and it's still not perfect,
Was it better?
but it was better.
And you thought that inverting your foot made it feel better, right?
Mm.
Not everting.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I actually have to really go.
Is this because you decided to book yourself a haircut on our podcast morning?
Yeah.
Didn't you only have a haircut like 2 weeks ago?
No, like a month ago, but look how long it is.
It's not long at all.
It's pretty long.
Okay. All right. You can wrap up then.
All right. Thank you so much, Opinion Nation, for joining us today on episode 24
24.
of the
Yeah.
Uneducated Opinions podcast. You can find Steve Norman at Steve Norman250 on Instagram, and you can find me at Train with Andy on Instagram. You can follow us at Uneducated Opinions on Instagram. Find us on Facebook. Make sure to find us on YouTube. Watch the videos and subscribe. Click that notification bell if you like what we're putting out. And lastly, guys,
Technique videos.
yes, we want some segments. So if you have ideas for segments and stuff, that'd be really fun to do.
So yeah, if you have any technique videos or things that you'd like us to talk about again, we kind of not really discuss flat Earth at all. Sorry, Claire, but you did send us on a good tangent. So thanks for that. Anyone else, any other topics that you want us to explore? Or as I said, those technique videos, send them in and we'll get on them for sure.
Also, if no one sends us technique videos, we're just going to do our online athletes and
pick them apart.
pick them apart. So I'm very sorry if you are one of our online athletes.
Alrighty guys, see ya.
See ya.